Alrighty, guys, let's get rolling today. August 15th, 2021, coming at you on the live stream. Let's wait for this to connect and do all that stuff. You know how we do it here. But ultimately, guys, today is a good day because The Walking Dead is back. Technically today. If you don't have AMC Plus or access to watching it, it'll be up next week, which is fine, which will be there. Tonight, there is a preview special on Talking Dead with Daryl Dixon will be there, Mercer, and Angela Kang, the showrunner. So I don't know if I'm going to watch that because I've already seen the episode, and I'm sure they're going to talk about stuff that's already been seen or common sense stuff. They're not going to give too much away, but maybe watch it on the replay this week. But we got some big news. I guess I have some big news about my life. And for those who don't know, I am a licensed physical therapist in the state of Florida, and hence the PT channel, PT. So for those who don't know as well, I was recently trying to get a job back to the workforce because of stuff with COVID and everything there too. So last Sunday, I was having interviews come up. So on Monday, I had 2 interviews with different physical therapy companies. Both interviews went well. Both of them wanted to give me the job, and I took the full-time job, and I've been training Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, shadowing different therapists and different medical professionals, and we'll be back out on Monday. I got to go to the office and do a couple things there, and I'll be shadowing a little bit more. So that's going to play a factor into the role with the PT channel. Negan 1 says, happy birthday, Lindsay. I want to give a shout out to Lindsay Robb, our moderator here. I believe it was her birthday yesterday or recently. So happy birthday, Lindsay. If you want to say happy birthday into the chat, I'm sure she'll like that. And she's a great moderator for everything here. She's connected with our Discord, and she definitely does a great job. So definitely want to give a shout out to Lindsay. Happy birthday. And so today has been a great day. Week has been kind of crazy. It's just crazy what a week will do for you, right? Besides TV shows and stuff in life. Last Sunday, I did my live stream. Thank you guys who were here and were a part of it. I was talking about interviews. Bing, bada, boom, happened really fast. Took the job on Monday. Started training on Tuesday. Got everything set up there. And now I have a full-time job as a home health physical therapist. And it's been tough because I was training all this past week and I still posted videos. So I'm sure people are going to say a bunch of different things about the videos of this, and then some people already have. But at the end of the day, I'm proud of myself for getting back into the full-time workforce of being a physical therapist, and also still had the ability to post a video every day this past week. And I was working overtime. I had some videos that I could have posted that I made weeks ago, and that's how it was good. But I was excited because it's kind of bittersweet that I got the job now because The Walking Dead is coming back. Well, is back now for AMC Plus members. And don't worry, we're going to talk about the episode in the last half hour. So it's like I'm excited to work and, be back into the fold as a physical therapist because it was this past Thursday, whenever the 12th was, Thursday, Friday, that I've been a physical therapist now for 12 years, a practicing physical therapist. July in 2009, I passed the board exam, did that, and then then in August, I went away for my brother's wedding and then started practicing August 12th, 2009. So it's crazy, 12 years goes by like that, and it's just back into the workforce to it. So Walking Dead is back. I was able to watch the episode this morning. I posted in my review already on the channel. Talk about it there. We'll talk about it here. But it's just great. It's a great day when The Walking Dead is back, right? It's just really exciting. It feels like a holiday, right? Like The Walking Dead is back. 1 episode. We got 7 more. Then we got a break probably till February. They haven't announced anything yet. But when The Walking Dead is done, the first 8 episodes, then we got World Beyond. Then we got Fear the Walking Dead. So we're kind of on track now for The Walking Dead to keep rolling the rest of the year. And there's been some debate with people in the comments about how AMC Plus works with the episodes. So today, August 15th, AMC Plus had season 11, episode 1, titled Acheron Part 1. And next week, the 22nd, the episode is going to be on AMC. So I don't think AMC Plus is going to have season 11, episode 2 to next Thursday, not this upcoming Thursday. So my feeling is that it premiered today on the 15th. We're not going to get episode 2 before episode 1 airs. So I don't think that, I could be wrong, but people are saying that Gimple said that they're coming early. Well, yes, the episode came early. It's a week early. So we got to see the episode early on AMC Plus. So I don't think we're going to get AMC Plus to play season 11, episode 2 until the 26th of August, after the episode 1 airs on AMC. So you still get it early because it would be the 29th when episode 1102 airs on AMC. So it's still early on the 26th. And that's what they did since AMC Plus and Premiere has started doing this. So it's kind of cool to watch it early, but then we got to wait 11 days before we get to watch the next episode. And I'll take it. I'm good. It's not a big deal, but I just think that's when it would be for sure. So if you watched it today, going to watch next week. I know some people watch it today and they'll watch it next Sunday as well. I'll probably watch it again one more time. And it's a good start. A really good start for season 11. And, some people were worried about it being, since season 10C happened, people were like, this show sucks. I can't believe this happened. They're really going downhill. How are they going to have some of these episodes? The one with the princess didn't make sense. The one with Carol and the rat was dumb. The only thing that was good was Negan's backstory. And I think that was probably one of the best episodes of season 10. But also I like season 10 episode 17, with Maggie, the Reaper, and everything there too. It kind of rolls into this as well. So don't worry, we'll get into the season 11, episode 1, the last half hour. But we'll be talking about season 11 as well there too. Jonathan Wilder says, Q&A, do you think Negan will get Dwighty Boy's comic death by having Maggie doing the killing? I don't think so. I don't think that's going to happen. Like, it's too easy to have Negan and Maggie fight and then Negan gets taken out by Maggie as a revenge. What I think is going to happen is that Negan and Maggie need each other. They help each other. They save each other. And if anything, Negan would die saving Maggie, in my opinion, as a heroic death. Because Negan's on the redemption train. He's like, all aboard, Negan is coming, right? Negan has been around since season 7, season 8, not the best character, season 9, redemption, season 10, huge redemption, season 11 now, we're getting a bunch of stuff there. So Negan is supposed to be liked now. Some people are never going to like the character, and that's okay because they loved Abraham or Glenn, and that's good. But ultimately, Negan saved Judith, saved Daryl, took out Alpha, saved the group. He's a hero. He's a guy that is out for himself, but he saves kids and animals, and he's there to help stuff. And I'll get into more, in about 22 minutes when we'll talk about Negan and Maggie, because it's definitely highlighted in season 11, episode 1. I will say that it does feel they did a good job breaking up the 2 episodes, because it's part 1 and part 2, but I kind of wish it was a big, huge episode premiere, but I know why they didn't, to prolong it, to keep it going, and because the initial rumor and the word was that we were going to have Acheron part 1 and part 2, the premiere was going to be a double episode. That's what they said back when, but the way they shot it, they ended at a spot that'll pick up right where it is in 1102, and it's fine. But I'm not mad at it, because we don't have to wait so long to find out what happens in the episode. We got to wait, for AMC Plus members, 11 days. It's annoying when they do cliffhangers, when they do stuff, and it's the end of the season, and you have to wait months and months and months for that episode to really come back around again to get an answer. Like season 616 and 701 was like, what are they doing? That was like the worst summer ever. But then we found out about it, and it was a big summer for The Walking Dead, and a lot of people were trying to get answers, and it was crazy. Lincoln K, my guy, says, Q&A, Bri, do you think that the group will come around to Negan ever? I don't know, right? I mean, let's talk about Negan a little bit more. That's a great question. I don't think so. I don't think what can Negan do to like have people like him again or appreciate him or love him? I don't think that's ever going to happen where Negan love. They're going to have a Negan statue of him in Alexandria or even the Commonwealth, right? The only thing I could think of is if they love Negan is if he killed or if he died or sacrificed himself for Herschel or Maggie or Daryl or the group. Like if he does some major sacrifice to protect the group and the greater good. I don't know, right? So Wilson says, but then why keep Negan around? That's the question. That's the big thing. Negan has skills. Negan has a lot of abilities that are useful in the zombie apocalypse in the DC Metro Virginia area. He's pretty resourceful and useful. He has done like the writing is good when you're like, well, why keep Negan around? Well, he took out Alpha. He saved the group. He saved Judith. He saved Dog. He did a lot of things to show his wealth, to show his ability, to show his worth. I mean, not his wealth, his worth. That it makes sense. But then on the flip side, flip that coin, bing, he says a lot of crazy things. He killed Glenn and Abraham, started a war, attacked Alexandria, blew it up, did a lot of things that contradict if you should like him or not. It's kind of interesting when villains become heroes and heroes become villains because life isn't so this and that. There's a lot of gray matter that comes in between there. And that's why I think it's pretty good writing, and I agree with it. Now, The Walking Dead doesn't do everything right. They're not going to do everything right. They do things wrong all the time. But they do enough good things to cancel out the bad things. And I think that they've had to roll with it. And it's season 11, episode 1 is a really good start to the final season. It's kind of crazy to say the final season, but we knew it was coming. Everything, I remember back when they were like, they're not going to do the whispers on the show. They're not going to do the whispers. They're going to go right to the Commonwealth. Nope, they're going to do it. The Commonwealth, they can't end with the Commonwealth. Are they going to go beyond the Commonwealth? Are they going to have stories after that? Evidently, some, no, because the show's going to end around where the Commonwealth ends with the comic. And Rick and Dwight and Carl and the story and, the judge and everything. It's just, that's where it's going. So it's interesting to see where it's going to actually end up. But with the Carol and Daryl spinoff and the extra shows and Tales of the Walking Dead, The Walking Dead is ending. The main show is ending, but we're going to have these extra stuff that'll keep the name and the brand going. Xmas Girl 304 asks, Q&A, if Maggie not have returned, would Daryl be more accepting of Negan? That's a great question, Xmas Girl 304. I don't know the answer because Maggie's back, and we can't know the answer because we're one way or another. But I think he would be more accepting of Negan if Maggie didn't come back, because Maggie is a constant reminder to Daryl of what Daryl did and how bad Negan is. Daryl's a smart survivor guy, he knows what he's doing. But I do think that he could let things go a little bit with Negan if Maggie wasn't around, for sure. But I don't think he's going to be buddies with Negan. And I do think that, I don't think that's, that's a good question, but I don't think we can answer that because Maggie's definitely back around, and it's pretty exciting for the future of the show. Jonathan Wilder, my wrestling guy, do you think Cena will dethrone Roman at SummerSlam? I hope so. But I don't know if John Cena, when SummerSlam is next Saturday, the 21st. And it's a pretty big event because John Cena is coming back to wrestle Roman Reigns. And Roman Reigns, to me, I don't think Roman is the best lead guy there is. I think there's better people. I don't even know that now because they cut so many people from the WWE. I think John Cena is a bigger draw, a bigger name, a bigger everything to beat Roman Reigns. But if John Cena wins, he has to keep wrestling. If the plan is to keep wrestling, then I think it makes sense. I think either two things are going to happen. John Cena wins and he wrestles a little bit and then loses because he's not going to be the main guy. It's good for a little bit, but I know John wants to be an actor and the big parts of things, and they're with the two. But I think Roman's going to win, or it's going to be like a disqualification kind of thing. So Cena's going to win, but it's going to be a disqualification, so Roman doesn't lose the belt. So John will win, but Roman doesn't actually lose the belt. I think could happen. I would actually love to see The Rock come help Roman, his cousin, I think they're cousins. I know they're related, but I don't know actually how. And the Usos or something. And then John Cena has someone come to his aid and help out. So it's John Cena and The Rock versus Roman and someone else. Like, it would be really good to have that be a big thing, because SummerSlam is a big event always, but I think they really need it to be there too as well. I think they really need it to be really a big event, and I'm kind of excited for it this Saturday, for sure. Yeah, a lot of good stuff here. Trucker dude. Hi, Bri. Haven't tuned in a while. Can't believe The Walking Dead is ending. Hope this season ends and not like Game of Thrones. Well, glad to have you back, Trucker dude. I appreciate it. But I hope so too. I hope that The Walking Dead has had a better laid out plan for it. But Game of Thrones was ending, and then it was like that was it. If Game of Thrones ended the way it was, and then we were still getting spin-offs and other stuff, like we're getting the Jon Snow story with the wildlings kind of stuff, it would have been okay. It would have been better. But yeah, I feel you on that. Ada B, long overdue. Wish it could be hand to hand, my man. Yeah, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's just, yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes down, but I'm super excited for that, for everything. It's a great time right now, right? So if you like football, it's preseason football, which to me is like fake football, but there are some good things. A lot of rookie quarterbacks, which showed a lot of good things yesterday. We have Walking Dead is back. Then we have SummerSlam on Saturday. And before you know it, it'll be regular NFL. It'll be a lot of good stuff coming around. Titans is back on HBO Max. My wife and I watched the first episode. They recently posted the first 3 episodes. And man, if you guys like the DC universe, Titans is a pretty good show. It's not a perfect show. There's some things that are like, well, I don't know about that. How did this happen? Some plot hole stuff. But it's really, really cool too. So, but thank you, Ada B. I appreciate the super chat. My guy, Darth Xenon, morning, Bri. The first episode was amazing. And then Charlie says, did you notice the CRM helicopter in the intro? It's back. I kind of want to do a breakdown of the intro, most likely in the separate thing. But yeah, I looked at it quickly. I have to watch it again. I think that skipped over me a little bit there too. Lincoln K, Q&A, what are you looking forward to the most to watch once The Walking Dead is over? Ah, man, well, nothing. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know, because that's going to be so far away, right? So The Walking Dead is not ending this year. It's ending next year. Next, like I said, either August or October. I could see it being October to stretch it out for the final episodes to end next year with the final episode. I am excited to see the Rick movies, Tales of the Walking Dead, and the Carol and Daryl spinoff. I know it's Walking Dead, but World Beyond will be done by then. Fear the Walking Dead Season 7 will be over. I don't know how much longer Fear the Walking Dead has left in it. Are we going to get an 8th and final season? Does it connect with World Beyond, the Rick movies, The Walking Dead? I would just love to see where it ends up. So down the road, I don't even know what's coming up in the grapevine for shows and everything. I know, well, I'm excited for stuff later this year. I'm really excited for the Sopranos movie. That comes out in October on HBO Max. Dune comes out in October on HBO Max as well. And also Matrix 4, I believe, too. And also the John Wick stuff. I know they're working on John Wick 4, and, I'm excited for that. But I don't know when that stuff's coming out now, especially with COVID and everything. Also, if you haven't seen, if you have Disney Plus and you're a Marvel Cinematic Universe fan, they have a show on there called What If? There's one episode now. It's all about Captain America and Agent Carter, and it's pretty good. It's animation, which I believe all What If is going to be animation, and I think some of Walking Dead, Tales of the Walking Dead will be animation, so I'm excited to see where that goes too. Let's see where we got here. Xmas Girl, did they say how close the meridian is? It sounds like Maggie's settlement was really close. I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things where I don't know. We don't know how far stuff is. Again, I'll talk about that in 10 minutes. But yeah, I mean, the locations of communities is all over the place in the world of The Walking Dead. The hilltop was really far away from Alexandria when Maggie was sick and dying. I think she had preeclampsia. I think is what it was. That her diagnosis was that she was not doing well when the baby was being born at the end of or when she was pregnant with Herschel, and at the end of season 6, and they were driving, but they had to go the long route in this route, and I know it was too much driving, but it just seemed like it was forever away. It was like so many miles away. But if the sanctuary was so close to Alexandria, why did they find them before season 6? Like, why did they come along earlier for the story of sake? But I mean, like, come on, right? And then the kingdom, I don't know how far that was. I don't know how far Maggie's settlement was. But if they're walking there, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but they could walk there. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. It's just one of those things where it kind of doesn't make that much sense for the locations of it too. So, yeah, a lot of people talking about the episode, but we'll see. There's a lot of stuff, and it's cool. It's good storytelling, and story building for the premiere episode. It's a premiere episode, so we'll see how it goes down for the rest of these 8 episodes. Because the way The Walking Dead does it, they do it in like a cluster of episodes. Episode 1 through episode 8 is a group of episodes. They're bookmarks. So 1 and 8 and everything in between. And then 9 and 17 or 16, everything in between. And then 17 through 24 and all the episodes in between. And then there's going to be carryover from 8 to 9, 16 to 17, and then I don't know where it's going to go in the finale, but they talked about the Daryl and Carol spinoff on some different articles, and it sounds like it's still going. It sounds like it's still a piece of the Walking Dead franchise. So I'm kind of excited to see where it goes too. But I know some people aren't most excited for the Carol and Daryl spinoff, but I just hope it's entertaining. And I like both of the characters and actors, so it should be good. Jonathan Miles says, do you think wrestling is fake? I'd like to hear your opinion on it if it is or is not. Well, fake, I don't know. Fake, like, I don't like to use the word fake. It's predetermined. Like, stuff happens in there, but it's choreographed. So when this person does this, they do that, they do that, and they time this, and then this person's going to come in and do that. But the injuries are real. Like, wrestlers have severe injuries. They hurt their neck, their back, their hips, their arms, all this stuff all the time. People have had, life-ending, life-threatening injuries in the wrestling rink. And I don't think you can go to someone and be like, yeah, dude, you're fake. Like, to me, fake is someone who is that it's not genuine, it's not legit, it's not real. Like, when you go into a wrestling event or around that, that's like real to them. But it is, I love how they changed it to sports entertainment, because it's all about entertainment and it is predetermined. It's just like any other thing that is written in a certain way. It's just got to ebb and flow in the right way, and it just makes sense. Rams, do you think it would be interesting to see a group like the Reapers to target the Commonwealth? Yes, and I hope that actually the Commonwealth has conflict with the Civic Republic. I would love for it to be a group of the Reapers, but I don't think the Reapers are going to be that big. The Commonwealth is going to be at least 50,000 people per the comic, and the Civic Republic is at least 200,000 people. So I would love to see the Civic Republic fighting the Commonwealth, big end of days battle, just pretty cool stuff. I don't know what the ending is, because in the zombie apocalypse, right, it's like everybody lives, everybody dies, some people live, some people die, there's a cure, the military shows up and saves everybody. There's really only so many endings you can have. You get to a deserted island and you're good. I don't know. So it's just one of those things where I'm like, I just hope it works out. I hope it makes sense. I hope they've been having this just the designation for the ending. I hope Angela Kang and Gimple and Norman Reedus and Melissa McBride and the OGs are definitely involved with some aspect of the story for their characters, right? I just feel like there's definitely a thing that it just makes sense that the people involved with the show are part of the show. Because it's kind of cool when you get to see, I can only imagine if I was an actor or a writer for something and we bounce ideas off and like the person is like, okay, no, we're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing this. And you're like, well, that's stupid. That doesn't make sense. This character or this actor would never do this. This is out of character for that person. And if I'm picking it up, the audience is most likely going to pick it up, right? Because we are invested in these characters. We love Daryl or Carol, or maybe you hate Daryl, but you're still going to watch the character. Some people who say they hate certain things, like a radio station or a song or something like that too, they moan and they say all these things like, I can't believe this. But they listen to it, or they listen to the radio. So they listen to like talk radio, and all they do is complain about it. But they listen to it all the time. And part of them is listening to it too. Daryl is a huge part of the show. And I love Daryl. Norman Reedus is great. Muslim Pride. There's so many characters. There's more characters that I like on The Walking Dead than I dislike by far, even through the whole entire series. There's probably a handful of characters that I could say on The Walking Dead that I really, truly disliked. And you could probably even say hate. But for the most part, the characters are done in a way that prolongs the story, really helps support things. You're not supposed to like every character that's there. There's not going to be everybody in a zombie apocalypse or even a movie or whatever, but a zombie apocalypse story that you're going to like, right? You're not going to like Jared. You're not supposed to like that guy. You're not going to like, just Ed. There's certain people like you probably should not like those people. And some people aren't going to like Daryl because of the way he is or whatever on there too. But Daryl is Daryl. Carol is Carol. There's so many people that love these characters for different reasons. And there's some people that don't. And that's cool, right? It's cool. But like Mark says, it was satisfying when Jared met his demise. And that's kind of the point, right? You build up these goofballs or villains or knuckleheads, and then you take them out. And it's like, yes, I loved it when that guy out. Or like, I remember the story that David Morrissey said that, no, it might have been Jeffrey Dean Morgan. David Morrissey said a couple of different things about like people not liking him, and it was good. But I think it was Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who he was walking into Sonoy or something, and this lady come over and stopped him and said something to him, and she's like saying something there too, and she's like, "I love to hate you. I love to hate you." And he's like, "Oh, thank you so much. That's great." Like he's loving it and rubbing it, but he's supposed to be. He's a villain, and Jeffrey Dean Morgan is a great, nice guy. And the same thing, like. When we had a chance to talk with David Morrissey on the cruise, one of the Walker Stalker cruises, and it was really eye-opening to see, like, I really like this guy even more now. He was the governor, and he was a villain, he was this on there too, but he kind of won me over more there too. It made me like him and, the character a little bit more, even though he was a villain, but that's what's supposed to be there too. So, John, I don't listen to really any podcasts. I'm not a podcast guy. Yeah, so he's a retired wrestling manager who hates 90% of wrestling. So is his podcast just complaining about wrestling and how bad it is and how Vince McMahon is stupid and how they're doing this and how it makes no sense anymore and how back in the day it was this? It's like, yeah, I guess people like that too, but it's sports entertainment. And living in Tampa Bay, and a lot of wrestlers live here, and I had a chance to meet a lot of wrestlers and be a part of it. And, it's really cool that, SmackDown was here on Friday. I wasn't going to go because of COVID and stuff, but, it was pretty cool to go back in the day. We went to the Raw. My wife and I went to Raw when I was here at Emily Arena, and that was really cool. The first time we saw Certified G and Enzo, and that was really cool to see that. And the Big Show was still wrestling, and it was a really cool experience. And, if you ever get a chance, it's pretty cool too. So, yeah, it's just a great time, for stuff. And, it's August 15th, 2021, and we're getting there, guys, and it just feels like forever. But when The Walking Dead was back on TV, back in the ways it was really exciting. So in 40 more seconds, we're going to talk about Season 11, Episode 1, and there will be spoilers. So overall, guys, hopefully you're doing well. I appreciate you guys being here. Hopefully everything is good to be a part of, your life and be a part of it, even just for the hour. I've already posted my review of the episode up earlier today on it. I'm probably going to make a video today for Monday, and then we'll see again. If I miss a couple of days with videos, I apologize. But like I said, I'm going to be a full-time home health therapist, so I'm going to be driving around a lot, and I don't want to do that. But I'm going to try to make it up and maybe post multiple videos on certain days and stuff. And it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to like not talk about certain episodes if you watched them early, because I don't want to talk all about the episode and post all these different things and all this stuff. But, you know, we got to have some stuff if we got a chance to watch the video earlier too. So, Deckard YouTube or Deckard YT. Hey, what is your favorite part of the show? My favorite, I guess we're talking about The Walking Dead, Deckard. Last part here is probably just how they deal with survival. My favorite thing is like, what would you do in this situation? You got to worry about food and safety and security and water and health and all that stuff too. It's definitely something that is kind of glanced over in some aspects of the show, like the survival stuff. But overall, I think it's a great thing when they kind of talk about what they would do here and how they build stuff up and just, you know, trying to survive and come together with all the different things, and the group coming together, I think, is the best thing for it too. So, all right, guys. So season 11, episode 1, spoiler warning, spoiler warning, spoiler warning. Mike Allen, my military guy, says, I was a sniper. Pretty cool conversation here. And he's the military dude. It's pretty awesome. I have nothing but respect for people in the military. My brother was and everything. And so it's just awesome to see that. And I have, you know, good admiration for that. And I kind of think in The Walking Dead, they should have a little more vibe to that. But we do actually see an Army military base, I guess just military base, in this episode. So season 11, episode 1, spoiler warning, spoiler warning, spoiler warning. So the episode starts with Daryl, the back of Daryl. He's got his vest on. He's looking at the Army base from the rooftop of some building. Elijah comes over, smacks him in the arm. He comes over here, and they open up the rooftop window. They lower down Carol, Maggie, Rosita, Lydia, Kelly, and Magna, I believe it's all women they lower down. They have Jerry, Alden, Daryl, Elijah, and I guess a couple other people on the rooftop, and they lower their women down because they're probably lighter. Like, I doubt, like, if Jerry went down, who could lower him down as well? You know, just Rosita weighs far less than Jerry, right? So we'll just go with that. And these chicks can fight. They can do that. But as they're lowering him down, there's all these walkers in military fatigues. So they were military. It looks like green fatigue. So I guess the Army, or if it's the Army base. So they're all laying down. And they're groaning and moaning. So it's like they're in hibernation mode. They're sleeping. And at first I'm like, what? What is this? They're sleeping? They don't ever die? They just go in like, they're in like sleep mode or like power save mode. They're like, you know, like they just save their batteries. But if you watch the end of the episode, Angela Kang was talking about it, and she actually calls them lurkers, like Xmas Girl said. It was kind of weird to see that. But she says that that's part of the comic book and the lore of this universe that happens. So it was kind of cool to see where they're coming from, but just never really saw that before. So ultimately, the women are trying to step around and not wake them up, because I guess they feel if they wake one up, they're all going to wake up. So they go around, they open a door, they find some MREs. Kelly and Magna come across these two walkers. They kill them with their knives. Like, they do it in sequence. They're like counting. They're like 2, 3, yeah, and they kill the walker. Even though it's just like kill the walker, it's over. But it's dramatic. It's a really over dramatized. But I can see what they're doing there. They find crates of MREs. Then they're coming around. They're trying to step around the different walkers because again they're not up yet, but they eventually get up. Carol sees some rifles, some I guess assault rifles. And Maggie's like, no, don't do it. But then as they put up the bags of the MREs that they get up, they put them on the pulley system, and they zip them up. Daryl, the rope breaks, and Daryl like goes to catch the bag and he catches it, but at the same time he cuts his arm, and blood drips from his arm and drops it, and it hits one of the walkers in the face, and it's like, and then the walker's like he wakes up, energized, like ready to roll. He wakes up, and they all start getting up. So instead of just taking him out as they get up, he's like, they let all the walkers wake up, and they're like, what do we do? You know, instead of just start killing them. They're coming up. Who cares? Kill them. Take them out. Take them out. But it's dramatic, and they're like, you know. And they should have just killed all the walkers and then took their time and took all the supplies. But it's dramatic, and they got the weapons and the staff and the this and the arrows, and they're boom, boom, they're kicking them out. And then the guys up top, they're not really doing much for a little bit. And then they finally come in and kill some walkers. Magna, Kelly, you know, they go up on the lines. They bring them back up. So, not going to say this name, but if you don't know why I call myself One-Eye Bry, then better call somebody. But ultimately, Carol is the last one to go up, and she is trying to pull herself up on the rope, and then she's like, no. And then she goes over to the MREs, grabs them, puts them in a bag, and it's real dramatic. And, you know, Daryl shoots a walker with his bolt, and boom, 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 takes all these walkers out. And then he throws his knife, and then takes him out. You know, Daryl saves the day. Carol hooks herself onto the line, takes the knife out, and then goes back up. And then, boom, Carol hands the knife back to Daryl, and everyone's safe and sound. Then you see them walking back, and they go, and you see everybody back to Alexandria. So they go to Alexandria, and they got the MREs, and they're doing this, and Daryl says hi to RJ and Judith, and it's a nice hello, and calls Dog along, and they all meet up, and everybody's pretty good. Negan comes over because he's helping Father Gabriel with the food rations, and he comes over to Maggie, and they look at each other, and it's a tense moment. He takes the bag of MREs to distribute. Not sure why Negan has that big of a job, because that's a pretty big job dividing up the food. And if you don't trust Negan, why are you doing that? But either way, you see the moment. Herschel comes walking over to Maggie. Maggie smile. The frown turns to a smile. Zach Dixon, a.k.a. Masked Ninja. Frown to a smile. You see the bad with the good, and it's a nice moment there. Then we meet Agatha, Frost, and Duncan. Agatha's the woman that we've highlighted a couple times in our videos. Duncan's the big guy, the big muscle guy. I actually have a character named Duncan in my book series, and similar kind of type. And then Frost is the smaller guy. The Agatha, Frost, and Duncan are the best fighters from Maggie's community. Don't know how they found them, how they got them, but I guess Cole had it. Herschel says Cole has a surprise, and it's those three people. They are from the Meridian. That is Maggie's community, what they called it, the Meridian. They go talk in the church. It's Maggie, Aaron, Frost, Agatha, Duncan, Father Gabriel, Daryl, Rosita. They're all talking inside the church. Maggie's answering all their questions. They need food. Right? That's the biggest thing. Food is one of the biggest things there. Daryl's like, I'm going to go because we need food. Maggie says, we have food at the Meridian, but the group that they lost it to said that they had it there too. So, Kenny, I have no idea. I can't verify for that what it is. Maybe they saw it. Maybe they're lying to you. I don't know. But ultimately, I saw the episode, and I'm good with that. I got enough going on. I don't need to see the first two episodes like that too. But if AMC wants to send it to me, sure, I'll watch it. But I don't really care. But ultimately, Maggie tells them that the group that took the Meridian from them, they come at night, and by the time you see them, it's too late. They take you out too. So we get to see Maggie talking about her past a little bit. She says that we can go to the Meridian, get food in there, and that's what they need, and that they decide to go. So the group leaves Alexandria. They start walking, and it's pouring down rain. They're in some streets. It's pouring rain. They got to get out of the rain. Negan's like, we got to do something. They point to the metro, the subway station, and they walk down it, and that's what they do. They get out of the rain. They're not supposed to go down in the subway station. They're just getting out of the rain. Negan wants to go there and just wait out the rain and then to go back up. But they're not liking Negan at all. And then you ask, like, why is Negan with them? Turns out later in the episode that Negan is there because Negan knows the area. He knows the DC Metro stuff on there too. And he's like, well, you guys can't read a map. But then Negan puts 2 and 2 together to say that Maggie, who's leading this show, Maggie wants Negan there because she plans to kill him away from Alexandria, away from prying eyes, and she wouldn't think twice about it. So Negan's smart. Negan's trying to lead and help out, but Daryl says, we ain't buddies. We ain't going to do this. Let's not talk about any of these things, right? So it's definitely something where Negan's trying, and I don't feel like, oh, it's out of place. I feel like Negan's trying to keep himself alive and everybody around there too. And he's just a leader. So he's going to voice his opinion and he kind of knows what to do. But Maggie and her group doesn't want to hear it. Maggie, Agatha, all those people, they know who Negan is. They know what Negan did. They're never going to let him down. And it's just not going to happen there too. So they start walking down the subway train tracks. It's like Dog and there's a lot of people there with him. Dog doesn't really do much in the episode and nobody dies in the episode. But it does end on a cliffhanger with Maggie in a precarious situation. And so they start walking down the train tracks. They hear the sounds of like creaks and groans and stuff there too. Alden comes to the pipes and he's like, it's just air getting the pipes. It's not a big deal. Negan looks at the water line on the wall. He says, well, that's a water line. This thing could flood. This is dangerous. This is not really, we shouldn't really be down here. And the funny line, well, one of the funny lines, Negan's pretty hilarious in the episode. He's like, yeah, that is God telling us that we should not be going down this way. And then Father Gabriel turns to him. He's like, well, he would have come by me first. He would have told me that. I don't think so. And he's like, well, your one eyeball. I guess he missed that too. It's just pretty funny. And then we see the different painting and art on the wall with the different graffiti and everything. And the line about, if there's a God, he's going to have to beg for my forgiveness. That's Holocaust quote, evidently. Someone told me that. I learned something on here. And so he says we get to see that and read that, and it's kind of a precarious thing. And then they come across all these walkers in body bags. And Daryl goes to put his hand towards it, and as he's out, the walker sits up. And then Daryl kills it, rips it open, and then C. Thomas Howell's character says, why didn't he make any noise? Well, the throat was slit really deep that you wouldn't have the vocal cords to really make any noise, but it would still make noise like breathing wise. But either way, that's what it is. They found out. I don't know. We don't know who put all these bodies or walkers in body bags. Maggie seems to think that they died before the fall. So does Maggie know more about this than not? I don't know. Negan's kind of questioning things. Maggie doesn't like that. But it's kind of good that Negan's questioning things because he's thinking on smart. He's not going to blindly follow Maggie. He's going to kind of think about himself logically. Everyone's kind of following Maggie. There's a contentious part with it, and Negan's punched by Daryl. He gets knocked down, and Maggie points her gun at him and says, there's things. So it's just definitely something that you see Negan and Maggie, that's not going to go away, which is kind of good, but they are building for something that Negan and Maggie are going to have some big things down the road too. So Mike says, breathes come out the neck, no noise. Well, there's air exchange and there's a bag and there's noise with that. There's air, whatever, it doesn't matter. But either way, there's no noise, who cares? And we move on. And it's one of those things that everyone's team Maggie there, but I kind of feel for Negan, and I think we kind of do too. So it's definitely one of those things where it's pretty interesting. They're setting things up. And Gage is about to, this big, huge, bloated, big walker, like a big dude in the walker thing in the outfit, gets through the bag, comes at Gage. He's got Gage is the guy from Hilltop that's useless, that was attacking Lydia and was terrible. And Negan saved him. Negan gets his crowbar, pushes the walker against the wall, saves Gage, and nobody helps Negan whatsoever. He's pushing back the walker. It's his big, fat, overweight walker, and Gage doesn't even come and help him with his his javelin spear thing. And you're like, boom, bam, Negan takes the walker out, and everybody's just watching him. And you're like, that's cool, right? No one's going to help Negan whatsoever. You're like, whatever. So you see a bunch of all those interactions for it. And then they mix in some spots with the Commonwealth, Yumiko, Princess, Eugene, and Ezekiel. So it's kind of a nice mix of this and there and that and this. And it's cool because I actually really enjoy the Commonwealth stuff. The Commonwealth is not the biggest, best story in the comic. It's the ending. It's the way out. They go to this community. The Commonwealth is huge. Done. That's where they end up, really. The Alexandria Hilltop connection is still there, but the Commonwealth is their end game. It's like the government. They end up there. So you see that our group, Eugene's group, goes on the back of the buggy. They have the hoods over their head. They take them in. It's time to get interrogated. Level 1 auditing. There's a woman and a man, and the woman does all the talking from the Commonwealth. They're dressed in suits. The guy, who's not Lance Hornsby, he's just writing on the pad with his lefty, so he's kind of like fake Lance Hornsby. He's the show version, but it's going to be different. So they're asking all these questions. They talk about, where did you grow up? What are your measles, like, or were you immunized for this? What did your parents do? What did you do? What school did you go? Where is your community? They answer all these questions. You find out that Yumiko went to Oxford and Harvard, and she's a lawyer. Well, we knew she was a lawyer. Eugene remembers like everything. His dad was a mechanical engineer. Princess has kind of had it rough, which we kind of knew. And Ezekiel is not liking all these questions. They're like interrogated for hours. It starts like 12 o'clock, and then it's 2:30, then it's 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 7. They're interrogated for hours with the same questions over and over and over again. And Ezekiel's getting pissed. And so you see the two auditors at the table, and Mercer is there watching. If Mercer's the head guy for the military aspect of the Commonwealth, why is he at this outpost? Well, to introduce the character, but I feel like he would be the guy that you're, looking after the Miltons. He's like the head security for that. But it's going to be different. We all know that show is the show and the comic is the comic, and there's going to be some differences. But either way, Ezekiel turns his chair and he looks at Mercer. But before that, they talk about the goiter on his neck, the cancer that's on his neck. He says, I was born like this, it was this way, or he developed it over time, that he's not sick and it's not this, it's not a thing. So he lies about the growth on his neck. It probably could just be a goiter. Just could be a iodine deficiency or, thyroid problem. But he looks at the Mercer, and Mercer, he's like, you the boss? You seem like you the boss, because you're just standing there watching. You haven't said one thing since I've been sitting here answering these same questions over and over and over again. And it's Ezekiel, like, not taking nothing from nothing. I liked it. And Mercer's like, yeah, And he's like, you a cop? Were you a person like this before all this? And Mercer's like, yeah, was I? Like you just see him going back and forth. And Ezekiel's not backing down. Mercer's definitely not backing down. And then Ezekiel starts coughing and coughing and coughing and coughing and coughing and coughing. And the auditors are writing everything down. Mercer slides a glass of water over to Ezekiel, and then Ezekiel drinks it, and it's kind of a nice moment. You kind of see there too. Then you see Ezekiel, Eugene, Princess, and Yumiko at the table. They're talking, and they're trying to decide like what to do. I don't know about this. And they talk about Stephanie. We got to get out of here. And Princess comes up with an idea, and Yumiko's like, yeah, I don't know. Like, do you feel like the Commonwealth's not real? And Princess and Yumiko bond, and they do this. And then they see Mercer there. And, Princess turns around, and Mercer gives him a look, and then she's like, what do I do? And then she turns to him, and she's like, peace. And he's like, yeah. Like, he doesn't like Princess, even though they get together in the Commonwealth there, too, so. Oh, man, this guy is confirmed. So, Cangrejo Nemo, Maggie dies in 1108, confirmed. Oh, yeah? Who confirmed that? All right, anybody could say confirmed. It's one of those things, right? So, yeah, let me know the source. Let me know what you got there, too. Confirmed. It's highly doubtful. Why would you bring back Maggie to kill her off in like 8 episodes? It doesn't make sense. Maggie's got to live to the end, just like Daryl, just like Carol, and set up things for wherever it goes. But yeah, it's just my thought on that. So the whole Commonwealth thing is a good thing too. So all right, bro. Yeah, I don't know why. So it's like funny. We're like good for like a long time, right? Without the trolls and the stuff in there too. And then all of a sudden the Walking Dead's back and they come there as well too. But it's just people are so hilarious. But the Commonwealth angle is them being interrogated. They talk about level 1 processing. Then they go to level 2. And then they go to reprocessing and it doesn't work out. They find out that reprocessing is not good because Mercer grabs another person in the another like compartment and then takes him away. And then they find out that reprocessing is really bad. So I think Yumiko talks to these other people that were there. How long have you been here? 4 months? Well, it's been 9 months. So there's been people that in the Commonwealth area there that have been there for months. So they're not going to be able to get out of there unless something happens. So they find out about this stuff, and Eugene's like, yeah, we got to do something. So you find out that Princess has been watching the guards, and she figured out something about the guards, that these 2 guards like each other, but they don't want anybody to know that they're getting together, and this one has a problem with this one, that they were on the car. It's kind of like crazy, right? So that Princess, who we thought was kind of hallucinating or just not all with it, she figured out some big information because she found out that these 2 guards are getting together, we'll just say, right? So they're gone for like an hour, most likely to take off their gear. They're Commonwealth soldiers because it takes a long time to take all that off to get it on, you know what I'm saying? So they're like, So they figure out. So there's part of it that we saw in the trailer that you see Princess and Ezekiel, and they're walking, and there's 2 Commonwealth guards behind them. Well, in the suits is Eugene and Yumiko in the Commonwealth suits that they took from the people that were getting it on when they took it on. So they borrowed the suits. That's why Yumiko has the suit. But Eugene has one as well. So a person comes out and says, where are you taking those 2? And then Princess and Ezekiel, yeah, we have our rights. What are you doing there too? And then I think Yumiko or Eugene says, reprocessing. Oh, okay. Carry on. Kind of like a stormtrooper kind of thing. Then you saw Mercer with the guy that he took away, being menacing, closed the door. The 2 people before, they're getting reinterrogated for reprocessing, I guess. They come across the board, or they come across this I guess, basket of confiscated things, and it's money. So that Princess already talked about a $2 bill. And I guess the Commonwealth doesn't want money. They took the money away. Like the currency doesn't matter anymore because they have X's all over the faces of the money. But I hope Princess gets her $2 bill back because when she started working and she cashed her check, she got a $2 bill when she first there. And that's why she kept it there, I guess, her whole life. So because she worked at a music store. And so when she first got paid, she got that. So it means something to her. You don't see it in there, but I hope it comes back around again. So as they're walking out, because Eugene opens a door and he's like, I see a place over there. There's the missing persons board. And at the top of it, it says expedited access or something into the Commonwealth. So if you know somebody on this board, you get into the Commonwealth. So the missing persons board in the comic is Elodie, is Michonne's daughter. But Michonne's not there. So on the board, it's Tommy, the brother of Yumiko. So it's Yumiko's brother that we kind of came up with months ago when we saw the trailers and the breakdowns on there too. So it's definitely Tommy. It's Tomi, which I believe is the actor Ian David Anthony. I forget his name, but he's been in a bunch of different things, and I have it in my other videos as a new character. So Tommy is Yumiko's brother. That's going to give them access into the Commonwealth, even though they're causing problems, and it's going to be other thing there too. She looks at the board and she's like, I have to stay. Well, they have to stay because that's how they're going to get into the Commonwealth, because it just makes sense for that to happen. And that's the big step for that too. So evidently they all stay and they're all going to stick to the plan and they're going to do that. But that's basically where that story ends for the episode. The episode ends with them back in the subway train car station area. So after the whole conflict with Negan being punched because he mentioned Glenn in a not so nice way to Maggie, and Maggie points her gun at him and say, there's a little piece of me that's the same woman from before, and I dream about taking you out every day or killing you every day. but I don't. And I do this, but don't push me. And she puts the gun, and then they're that. And they're taking out the walkers and taking out this and the body bags of walkers. They come across the train car that stopped there. Negan looks around, and it's blocked off with fallen debris and rubble and concrete, so they can't really get around it. Even though Dog runs to the side of it and gets through it, and Daryl goes after Dog. Walkers are coming behind them. We don't know where they came from, who sent them there, if the Reapers are involved or what. We don't see it. But they're taking walkers out, doing this. They're trying to break into the back door. They can't. They decide to go up on top of the train car. So they go up out in this. But before that, Gage and C. Thomas Howell's character left. They left the area. They took the supplies. They took some rations. They took some magazines for their guns, and they left. So is C. Thomas Howell character a Reaper? A plant? A spy? I don't know, but it just makes sense there too, right? So, J. Kane, is there any way you can make your books? J. Kane, I want to make my books into audiobooks. It's just a lot of time. It's just a lot of, they're not audiobooks right now. It's just paperback and digital on Kindle right now. But down the road, that's definitely something I want to have the audiobook format. But if they get picked up or something and it was easier process, I definitely would have that for sure. That's just hopefully down the road. Fight for Us is actually going really well. Book 15 is going to be captured. That is, I'm in chapter 4 of my review right now of my editing. So we're getting there really good. But back to The Walking Dead. I got 4 minutes left. So So the walkers are coming down. They're going up on top of the train car. It's Negan and Maggie are the last two there. Negan goes up on it. Maggie's the last one there. She's kind of reaching up. Walkers are trying to get her. She kicks. She's fighting them off. She's kind of struggling to grab herself up. Negan, who's on top of the train car, looks down and is like, I could help you, but nah. And then he walks away. And then Maggie's like, slips, or at least one hand slips, and done. That's it. That's how the episode ends. So this is Acheron Part 1. Acheron Part 2 is 1102. So that makes sense that they shot it together back to back. I would assume that Negan does help Maggie. That's going to be the next episode. But the way it's painting that picture is that Maggie basically, I guess, told them that she would kill Negan. And now its roles are reversed. It's flipped around. Negan has the chance to save Maggie. He didn't in this episode, but I assumed he would. Again, Negan's going to save Maggie. Maggie's going to probably save Negan, and they're going to work together, and it's going to be one of those... It's going to be a problematic, contentious relationship between them, but how can you hate the person that saved you? I mean, you could, but it's going to be a tough thing there for it. Lincoln K says, Q&A, Bri, how come our group didn't just mask up or blend in to go through the walkers? Also, how killing Gage would make sense as to how he changes to Walker. Yeah, that makes sense. That's why I think Gage is actually going to die, and we'll see him as a Walker next episode. Yeah, I mean, they don't like to use the meat ponchos and the Walker skin masks and everything there too. That would have been a really good way of doing it, but it was, I guess, it happened so fast that they couldn't have that opportunity. And we got to have the drama. The Walking Dead loves its drama, loves its problem, loves the chaos with it too. So, yeah, overall, it's a good episode. You get to see a trailer for next week's episode. You get to see Negan in the train car and having a problem with everybody. But there's a lot of other clips that show that Maggie's alive. There's just no way that Maggie dies there. We know that Negan and Maggie go to the mall. Negan and Maggie are in the woods. There's a lot of things that are going to happen there, but it makes this cliffhanger like, oh, Maggie's going to die, even though it wouldn't make sense in my opinion. But overall, it's a good episode, a great start to the season 11. And then on AMC Plus, we got to see the inside the episode with Angela Kang, and she talks about the walkers being dormant, or the lurkers, she calls them, being dormant. And it's kind of interesting. We never really saw that before. And the chicks are definitely taking over the first part of the episode, where they're badass chicks taking out a bunch of walkers and saving the day for it. But hopefully they got a lot of great supplies from the army base, because it's an army base and it's got to be a lot of stuff there. I don't know. Somebody said in the chat about the MREs having a shelf life of 5 years, which is way long past that. But well, if you're hungry enough, you got to try it, right? You know, I don't know if it would just be stale or you would get sick from eating it. I don't know. So it's definitely something that I definitely love the idea of. A lot of the concepts in it. The story is good. The writing is good. The action is there. The drama is there. It's what it is, and it's got to be accepting. So ultimately, it's a good episode and a good start to The Walking Dead Season 11 overall. There we go, guys. That's my hour. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you, Ada B, for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe. Support the channel any way that you can. You can donate on Patreon. Become a member. Super chats are always welcome. We truly appreciate it. Like I said before, I'm going to be doing more and more physical therapy on full time. I'm going to try and work Monday through Friday, but sometimes at the job, I would be seeing patients on Saturday morning or something too. So it's going to be some time getting used to it. Just going to have to make it work. I'll definitely continue to post videos. We're not going anywhere with that, but you know, it's just going to be part of my life to be continuing with this. I'm a therapist first and foremost, and it's something that I'm passionate about. So it's going to take precedent for things, but I appreciate that. Thank you, Negan1, for the congratulations, and thank you everybody for the love and support and the kind words. Be safe and sound out there. I'll be back next Sunday for the live stream to talk about. It kind of stinks that Mike Allen says got a son on Monday. Well, congratulations. That's awesome. That's pretty cool. Like I said, I'll be back next Sunday. I'll be posting videos when I can. And next Sunday, we'll talk about The Walking Dead 2. And it's not going to be a new episode that we're going to talk about, but we'll break down a bunch of things there. I might as well watch the episode again before next Sunday. But thank you guys for being here. I truly, appreciate it. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And remember, guys, with hard work, dedication, belief, and sacrifice, you can truly achieve your goals. Believe in yourself. You can do it. I'm proof that a difference a week makes, a day makes, a month makes, a year makes. You can do things in your life. Just keep working hard. Don't get down in the dumps about it. Ups and downs all around. We'll be back next Sunday. Stay safe, and we'll see you guys.